So we would actually like to know how does a day starts and ends in a day of an IRS officer. So if you can just cite one example, a life-changing experience.
Fine. Normally, the timings of an IRS officer will be like as I told you. If he's in assessment functions, it is normally run between 9 to 7, like that. And sometimes in the what we call the time barring period, where the orders have to be passed as a legal obligation, there people work 24/7. In investigation directorate, it is like when you're in action, sometimes you will not sleep for 48 hours. You will continuously be awake. Like normally, raid operations, search operations start at 6 a.m. in the morning, normally. And they may end another next day or next day. You may sometimes run with 2 hours sleep, 3 hours sleep, all these things. So that will be a flexible office. So that way the working goes. Other offices will be in the regular office times, like 9 to 6 type, like headquarters, TDS directorates, other directorates. Experiences are like any officers. If you ask any service officer in India, mainly classy officers, will have wonderful experience to share with you. In fact, I remember seeing a movie recently, Ride, by Ajay Devgan. There was a scene that he gets a call from Prime Minister and he responds, and the Prime Minister appreciates his time and supports it. So many may think it is like a cine magic, but in IRS you see that practically. I can say like close person, a cousin, or you can say, I don't want to specifically point it out. So that guy, like many will not appreciate such and survey operation because it's not a natural phenomenon. Like it doesn't happen every day, and people see it in lifetime, once in their lifetime or like that. So they don't understand what is all is happening. So that's why there are a lot of rumors, a lot of gossiping, all these things about. But search and survey is a very well planned, scheduled, well controlled operation. Okay, there will be no deviance to be allowed. There's a lot of checks and balance in the department. And I think I can treat it as the most legal function in the department. So he said, "Sir, what do you think about it? Where do you think you come up? I can get a call from Prime Minister's office. I can get a call from CM of Maharashtra." Said many things. So we 10 people were in the team. He said he was also an important person in the state. So he said, okay, you get a call, no problem. So he was trying 2-3 numbers. He was trying. Then he said, "Sir, nobody is speaking." There it comes. Like we know which number he tried, but still there comes the system in which there will be no interference. So, and how people like the politicians, we as income tax, you will be dealing with the politicians, you will be dealing with the bureaucrats, sometimes top bureaucrats, sometimes you will be dealing with the judges, sometimes you will be dealing with a very, very big businessman. In fact, our many big companies, like you can name it 1,000 crores above companies, many companies, our team has done investigations. So sometimes very sensitive, but once they understand the purpose and your conduct properly, you will see the big man appreciating you and cooperating with you.
But there must be some time because you're basically when you're taking an investigation or a search operation, it will always involve the politicians. Majorly, it involves the politicians and the big shots, the big businessmen and all. So your life will be always on target. You will be targeted. So how does an IRS officer then react to it?
No, every service, when you take a major decisions, every services, you are the person who is going to take a major decision. Either it's IAS, IPS, IRS, or customs, or thing. So when you take a major decision, it is going to affect somebody. If it does help India somewhere, it has to affect somebody. So naturally, these threats are very common. But the issue is, I have seen the people who, whatever, like bad or worst or like good or something, they tend to appreciate you moment they understand your approach, conduct up to the mark. If there shows a meritoriousness, they'll immediately appreciate. They like not in like cinemas like as if they become enemies, they'll chase you, nothing like that.
Okay.
They may start with something like some negative opinion, but once you make him understand, boss, this is what we have come for, this is what we are searching for, this is our right, this is your right. And once you make it, and sometimes you will see like after few years we see also he will come and greet you, sir, how are you? That you may be a big person, you would have become MP, you would have become minister. Here we have a case that he has become cabinet minister later on. And as a cabinet minister he can do anything, but he doesn't do that. See, because he appreciates. You know that who I am referring to. He appreciates. There comes the thing.
So
but if you misuse, if you don't know how to do a process, then like the sufferings may be there.
So sir, like during your service or any of the officers who are in the revenue services, what kind of international exposure they get?
See, tax is a global phenomenon. It is started with the human civilizations. When human civilization started, tax is also started. So no civilized community can exist without a tax. But what is the right tax? It's always a question of debate. Like Chanakya says in Arthashastra, he says, it is like a bee taking a honey from a nectar from the flower. Without pain to the flower, without killing the flower, but helping the flower. But taking a right amount of honey for its welfare. So that is the way the tax department should work. But getting to the level is not easy. People often misunderstand. So the department job is to like educate that. And it's a global phenomenon. People compare, oh sir, Dubai there is no income tax. In Singapore there is no tax. In India why this much tax? All these things will happen. So there is a global association also to understand, appreciate and educate the tax phenomenon. We have OECD, Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development. They have a separate tax division mainly on international taxation matters. That what we call transfer pricing and international taxation. That's a big subject on its own. Income tax has a separate international taxation department and transfer pricing department. So you get ample opportunities there. And you also go into the various tax policy groups throughout the world, including body chaired by UN. So you get a lot of opportunity, and you also get postings like advisors in the various developing countries where you can go and educate the officers and the system to evolve a nice tax policy. So a lot of international assignments are there.
And then like what are the like how does it have a relevance in officer who is women? Does the service differentiate between women and men?
In my opinion, I think I rate the best service for women as IRS. Maybe a little bit I can say IAS. Considering her challenges, what are the challenges? She has to take care of the home. She has to rear up her children. She has to spend some time with the children when needed. You have time at 60, who bothers? When a children is 5 years age, 10 year age, or they are appearing for 12 standard, you have to give the time. So this department will offer a flexible working. Sometimes you'll be busy, sometimes you can be free also. Depends on the various department you choose. If you want to be free, you can be in like some assessment charges or some TDS charges thing. If you want to be fully engaged, you want to do an adventurous job, you can be in the right wing investigation department. So I don't think such an option available in other services because they have a uniform work pattern. Here, so like somebody in childbearing time and rearing important period, they can spend more time with the family. Like they can, when I mean more time means they will be working between 9:15 to 5:45. 6 o'clock they can go back to their house after finishing. So and like the officers are well protected, like and lot of women officers are there. You get a lot of bosses from women's side also. They have a huge support. Many services like, for example, IRTS, Indian Railway Traffic Service, you see a lot of men officers only. Women officers will be very rare. And if the women officers there, they will post her to the commercial department. They will not put her in traffic department. So such things will not be there in income tax.
So, sir, like whenever a UPSC aspirant is writing, he's taking the UPSC examination, and so they always opt for IAS, then the IPS, and then they go for the other services. So, what basic punchline you can give to the students, the aspirants, that yes, revenue service is worth taking, is worth going for?
See, just because I have belonged to IRS, I should not wholeheartedly say, no, you have to come IRS. No, not like that. So what I will say, these, I rate your mental makeup for the service. What do you want to? Basically, the management sciences divided work job into two subjects. One is desk-based, another is field-based. If desk-based job you like it, then you should choose a desk-based services. IAS, IRS, part of IRS. Like if your investigation is a field job, and 90% of IPS will be on field job, only 10% on desk job. In IAS, it's almost like 70-80% on desk job and 20% on field job. If you go to any accounting services, railway account, audit account, civil account services, they are all 95% desk job. If you go to some service like defense estate, they will be like again IAS 50-50. If you go to railway traffic, it's 90% field job, 10% desk job. So you have to see the mental makeup. And IAS is a good service, definitely a good service. It's a premier service because I told you it gives two great opportunities. One as a district collector, another as secretaries to head the department. But after that, if you think like something, what I can say is like more of a creative thing, intelligence, all these things, and judicial functioning. If you want, then IRS gives the best scope. For example, now I have done my 15 years of service. I thought I will do little more differently through people welfare activities. I want to be directly with the people welfare. So I thought of taking a chance, taking a IRS. So we are now doing a lot of free educational coaching for all rural students. But I have done my law, so now I can practice as advocate in tax jurisprudence in High Court. I have a specific skill set called income tax, which no service can do that. An IAS officer coming to advocate, he doesn't have anything. He doesn't have a master in any subject. He is a generalist. Police officers can do on criminal side, but on taxation side, you have a big vacuum. And if you're an IRS officer, after practicing, if you come, you can definitely do more signing there also. That can help you in your future endeavor. If at all you want to do like this, like okay, 15 years service is fine, you do some people welfare activities.
So it seems,
I'm not saying you have to come to IRS, but if you come to IRS, you will not be dissatisfied.
yeah.
You will be definitely happy. You will have great memories to share with.
So
and life is all about it.
It is all like it gives you a wide opportunity in your field, into the economy of India. So that's what our aspirants will be happy enough to get this good insight from you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.